们主要的是告诉大家，你在急救的时候需要些什么东西。那个潘老师上上礼拜五，政府里特别受训，让他准备这些东西。所以他陈医生本来想讲的那一个地方没有讲出来，我们现在请潘老师讲的时间很短，原因就是我们还希望那个卖这个 equipment 的人来了以后，给他们足够的时间，你们发问可以问他为什么我需要这个，为什么我不需要这个，因为潘老师讲的那些东西，你们需要一个 copy 的话，我们都可以给你们看。好不好？所以今天我们先把时间交给潘老师，待会儿另外那个2个人是从Preparedness Emergency Preparedness 里面来，他们是现在取代了红十字会来做这些急救包的。
大家好。这个是他们有一个这么样的组织啊，这个组织是从这个65年到这个是2001年的时候他们做的。那么他们做什么事情呢？就是说有火灾啦，或者是地震啦，或者是什么紧急车祸了什么，所以他们这些人就是会到那边去，就是帮忙这个，主要是急救嘛，所以我去受训这个急救这个事情啊，所以他发了这个东西给我啊。那么本来是上一次那个陈医师要讲，可是他没有跟我讲，所以临时我就给他。所以来到这里才给他，他说来不及了，所以来不及。所以他说今天让我来讲。那么这边呢，他写的非常详细，这东西很多，可能我们不大需要的啊。那么当然，我这个每一年我住在那个公家政府的这个老人公寓哈，所以每一年它都有2个不同的，一个是救火队他们来告诉我们这个火灾的时候你怎么去处理。另外一个就是讲那个安全，因为老人家常常被人家抢啊，什么房子里面被人进去啊，什么，这是2个问题啊，一个是警察，一个是救火的来跟我们讲。那当然呢，这个听讲的人呢，他免费给我们一个包包，所以我今天也不买了。可是那个包包他只给你，就是说吃的东西、喝的东西都没有啊，就是完全就是给你这个急救，比如说这个。我等一下慢慢讲。谢谢。那第一个呢，就是说我们要准备不是全部要哈，你看你选哪一种，然后你准备这些东西，因为这个都非常详细，所以我想，即使我讲了，等一下大家就忘掉了。所以你真的需要的话，可以跟他们要，他们就印出来这个啊。那么。这个背包啊，什么这些东西啊，那么这个我们这个它通常是要2天到3天的我们需要的东西就放在这里面啊。那么很多人就是说都准备好了，这个包包放哪里都不知道，其实要放在门口那里，因为有紧急的时候你一出去的话就一抓就抓走。所以有些人是摆在哪里都不知道，也许摆在储藏室啊、什么车房啊、什么的，到时候是找不到哈。所以这个很重要的啊。那么这个这个东西就是这个哈，把2天的、3天的都我们需要的东西都放在这边啊。好，那这个就是。那我讲的时候，大家有问题随时可以发问。那么这几个东西，因为有时候2、3天，也许你要换衣服，其实紧急的时候连衣服都不要换了。可是他要2套衣服哈，这个袜子可能很重要，因为有时候有水灾啊什么这类就很冷啊。那么有些人常常回去台湾的话，你知道， 我在台湾的时候，几乎每一年都有1、2次这个台风来、水灾什么东西。所以有一次我就睡在别人的屋顶，第二天早上有人把我救去。啊，那然后这是吃的东西还有水啊。那么这边当然讲了，我们很多了，什么水果啊，什么这些东西哈。那么这2个事情，我这边就特别讲一讲。这个吃的东西呢，因为那个时候可能就没有地方煮啊，什么东西，所以我跟陈医师都同意，就是用那个速成面哈，那个就本来就可以吃的，不要煮哈。所以这个就是，那我们家里也有经常买，然后你看看过几天了以后就拿来吃，又买新的，因为不能够摆得太久啊。所以这个东西就是要准备，车上也放2、3包。因为有一次，我想是3、4年前吧，那个下雪，结果有一个车祸，我们离开家不到1英里啊，大概就是半英里左右，可是花7个钟头才回到家。车子堵在那里不能动，后来我们绕一个圈又堵了，怎么都没有，后来就是走不动了，前后都堵起来，那个车子在那边，所以现在我们连那个上厕所都没办法，都准备一个罐子，准备要上厕所，在车上就用了，所以这些东西大家都要想好。那这个水呢？那么我们在那边呢，他们来我们这个讲呢，就是说1加仑的水，你只要几滴的那个漂白水就可以喝了啊，即使是脏的水啊。那么上一次陈医师说粉状，那我们是要液态的那个漂白粉漂白水啊，几滴下去1个加仑的水就可以喝了。所以我们家里呢是摆了大概是7个加仑的水摆在家里，那万一有什么事情，当然不可能把那个拿走。
漂白水是 bleach 是
？bleach 对，
就是我们洗衣服那个。
不是，洗衣服它那还有别的东西，可是你要买真正的 bleach 啊，
罐子。
那然后你就
有分食用的吗？
它可能有时候卖的很大一罐啊，它大概很大一罐，所以你可以弄一个小罐子放一点。
哪一种 bleach 可以吃？
就是 bleach
你不要加那个 softener 的那种 bleach， 纯的 bleach。有时候人家建议你们家里面清洁的时候，也是放一点点那个 bleach 的东西在里面。通常你从那个，你站到这个。
那然后呢？这个，
等一下，那个家里面通常你要喝水的话，你把那个水龙头打开来，你装一大瓶的那个水放到外头，你就会闻到有那个绿的味道。那在这边建议就是说，你要怕那个绿的话，你应该把那个水装出来，4个到6个钟头了以后，让它挥发了。就同样的，它这边高2滴在1个 liter 里面的话，它就可以杀菌，主要目的是让它杀菌。所以人家家里面要清洁，比如说淹水过的地方啊，都是用那个稀释的那个bleach 这些东西来擦，主要就漂白水，主要就是来杀菌的。所以只要你没有掺和任何这种
别的东西，
那种让你质料变软的那些化学东西的话，
醋行不行？
啊？
它是纯的，
醋不杀菌。
纯的东西哈。对，就是纯的东西啊。那这个没问题了哈。那当然，这个是，假如你用那个速食面的话，这些刀叉就可能就不需要了啊。那然后这个纸当然也很重要，因为我们这个纸啊，就是用来清洁用的啊。那么现在大家看呢，这个是 纸盘啊，什么这个汤匙啊，什么这个筷子啊，什么这个。那我认为就是说，我们吃，所有大家这样不一定要跟它一模一样。假如你吃的东西不需要这个工具的话，那你就可以不准备。不过纸跟布可能就比较需要一点啊。那下来呢，这个很重要了，这个钱呢，因为到时候可能你那个卡就不能用了，所以这个钱很重要。他说有1块钱、5块钱，还有硬币哈，这些零钱啊。那另外就是说这个是谁的？牙刷什么这个大概也不是很重要，因为到的时候你要不要刷牙都不是很要紧。所以这个护照啊什么。这些东西都比较，就是那些文件啊，这个还是很重要的啊。那眼镜啊，假如是近视或者是老花的话，这也很重要，不然看不到东西嘛啊。然后这个助听器啊什么，这个都很重要。不过这个手机啊，这个手机这个我们要提一下这个手机的问题啊。因为手机你再充的话呢，大概通常只能够用两天左右。假如紧急的时候，你到处打电话的话，可能是2天就没办法用。所以我自己买了另外一个，就是可以充电的一个东西，不过它叫什么东西了？Peter 你知道这叫什么东西？就是一个，对不起，今天我没有带来，我有好几个啊。
蓄电器。
对，就是你平常把它充满了，所以你需要的时候把那个。你的手机插在那边，它就可以帮你充了，这个是很重要啊。那么这个讲到这里，他没有讲到那个收音机哈，因为这个收音机是，假如是没有电的话也不行，所以它有一种收音机，我不知道在哪里卖，可是他们是给我那个包包里面就有，那可以用手摇的就可以发电，然后就可以听啊。
他有没有说大概要存多少钱？
这很难讲的。
我给你解释一下，这个存钱的这个概念是所有的外面都停电了，你要去最近的 7-Eleven， 你说我要买一点什么东西的，
这个我知道。
那他就是说这样，所有的东西都要 cash， 所以你自己看你要加油。他那时候1加仑现在是2块多，它可以涨到20块钱。他要收你的现金，不需要零钱。那你看到那边有个机器，那你就有硬币的话，你就可以用；没有硬币的话，你就用不了，对不对？就是这种概念。
单是多一点，就是这样，剩下来都没有问题了，对不对？可是不够的话就麻烦。
看你准备的怎么样，你准备的越多，你需要的钱就越少。
下来的话呢，这是。小孩子哈，只要大家有孙子的话，需要准备这些东西啊。然后大概是大部分的人都，我是没有准备，因为我孩子还是单身的，所以这些东西呢，就准备一下。可是这个尿布呢，有些年纪大的人可能也要准备一些大人的这个尿布啊，因为有时候时间太长，你找不到地方的话，那可能这个还是比较需要啊。这个就是刚才他讲的是这个收音机哈，还有手电筒。我手电筒很多，我家里有4-5个手电筒，3个就是说不要电池的，它是用这样压它就发电。那另外还有好几个就是，然后我车上也有2个手，这个这个车子都有。那么这个急救包当然就是很重要，因为那个时候很可能是受伤了什么这样子啊，所以这个还是比较重要。那绳子的话呢，就是说也有时候我们需要绳子。那么有时候你要在楼上爬下来的时候，你要绳子爬下来。我不知道大家会不会用绳子爬下来。不过他就是准备，这个不一定给老人家哈，就是给所有的人，就年轻人也有可能需要的，所以这个不一定是给老人，所以他准备的东西就不大一样。所以可能那些妈妈嘛，就不要那刚才那个牛奶瓶啊什么这些东西，因为小孩子太小了嘛，他们不能吃东西，一定要喝 一体的东西，所以牛奶瓶这个还是很重要，对这个婴儿来讲。那这个呢，就是说，当然，比如说这个灾难来了以后，你可能就到一个旅馆去。那么家有小孩的话，可能坐不久啊，他会闹啊，什么事要有一些东西给他玩啊，就是你要到旅馆去的时候才会这样。那当然是你逃难的时候在哪里都不知道，那可能就这些都不需要。那我就没有准备这些。那下来呢，就是说这些地方呢，就是大家不大那个。因为通常啊，就是我自己也是一样，因为我们也受过这个训练。比如说你到办公室去的时候，你上班的时候，你要看哪里就是，比如说有问题的时候，你从哪里跑出去，哪里有什么，哪里有个什么楼梯啊，什么东西，那这个你要看一看这个周围环境。那你去吃饭的时候也是一样，也要看一看这个餐厅里面这个。万一有火灾啊什么，你怎么逃命啊？所以你都要看一看这个周围一下啊，这是比较重要啊。那么，另外很多人都是说这个地震的时候就跑到外面去哈，就是我们受训的时候就没有说跑到外面去，因为你跑到外面去，因为那个有人就是一出去以后，那个电线就断了哈，断了它就会触电，所以就不要在家里，不要出去外面。那然后就是玻璃啊，什么东西就飞下来啊，什么就这个可能就会受伤。那怎么办呢？就要站在那个这种角落的地方，这个是比较最硬的地方。你就站在这个地方所以这个地方当然也可以，像这个地方也可以，不一定是像这个凸出来也可以，不一定凹下去。这个凸出来，因为它有两个墙壁，还有一个柱子，所以这边是最牢靠，就站在那个地方那当然你在家里面，比如说你要站的这些地方呢，你周围就不能够像你要站在这里，这边有一个这个就不行了，太大了，所以你要准备你要站的地方的时候呢，那周围就要没有什么东西可以砸到你自己哈。那么你在办公室也是一样，也要注意这些地方啊。当然你到餐厅你就没办法把人家的东西移动了哈。那然后呢，当然就是说，家里是必须要有那个灭火的这个设备哈。可是你到办公室，我想，像我们的办公室是有，可是是公家的，它放哪里？可是你要知道哪里有这个灭火器。那在家里的话就要准备一下。而这个家里准备这个灭火器，你要看它有效的日期啊。只要你过期的没有用了，所以要注意这一点，不是说买了就永远有效啊。这个就是当然就是这个取暖的东西哈。取暖，那么他们是说建议买那个睡袋啊哈。睡袋的话，它有一缩起来就好小一个，那么这个也是蛮好的，尤其在西雅图这一带比较冷啊，所以这个也是比较好。那么这个是说这个很多人都建议打这个911的，所以上一次我也补充了一下。因为这个911呢，就是说到时候他都会很忙，你打的话可能就没有什么用，所以要打的是这个这个很好记哈。就是这个电话就是急救的这个机构哈，就是急救的机构。 他说远离电线30英尺所以就是说这个可能就是因为有事情你跑到外面去，那个电线就是有人曾经被电死过了那这个就是联络啊，那么这个你都要写下来啊，就是说啊。那通常到那个时候，可能有些这个电话都不通了，也有这个可能啊。所以你要联络的话呢，甚至你可以联络到别州，因为这一大片的可能都会没有办法通，所以你要远一点啊。所以就是联络电话不一定就是你附近的朋友或亲戚，可以远一点啊，别州啊什么都可以啊。上一次或者城市说有人还打回台湾了，然后，这反正就是说这个很重要的一个事情啊。那么另外就是说，有很多人都不知道，这个家里的电话跟手机的电话这两个不一样。假如你用家里的电话，你打的话呢，他们知道你的地址啊。那可是你用手机打的话呢，他不知道你地址，他知道你大概在什么地方，这是两个不一样。所以这个我们去收讯的时候，第一句话他问你们谁没有手机就举手，因为手机很重要，因为到时候你不一定在家，你在别的地方，你要求救的时候，人家知道哦，你大概是在什么地方啊。我讲到这里就讲完了，所以大家还有什么问题没有？
这个潘老师啊，上次是我提到的啦，我那个加州89年大地震的时候，那我哥哥在加州，我人在 Boston， 我从 Boston 打到加州打不到，没有电话一直不通。
对
OK， 所以你那个很远的地方，有时候全美国刚好不通，我不知道就是当时的 situation 啊。所以后来是我哥哥打电话到台湾，告诉台湾的妹妹，叫他打电话告诉我。你看他知道我会在担心啊。那这个，所以就是说电话你正好需要距离越远，有时候反而 possibility 比较高。
对，就是反正远远近近都需要几个电话，不一定是一个，因为这边它只有一个位置让你填电话。
对，就是说它这个 routing 刚好就是都断掉的时候就出不去了。
所以我们不知道那个时候会发生什么事情啊，所以就是说多几个电话是比较好。
对，第二件事我本来还有一件事要讲，已经忘掉了。OK， 就这样。
好，谢谢大家。那等一下他就会介绍一下应该准备的是什么东西，所以你觉得你需要的话，你可以跟他买。
Before you start setting up, let me introduce you,
Jeff.
This is
Steve.
Steve and Jeff. He's the president, but he show up most of the place. The CEO is the company biggest. 你们要需要资料的话，他们的通讯的地方是政府通过了。他现在做的这些东西都取代了以前的那个红十字会，所以这是政府来监督的一个单位。那怎么找到他们呢？他跑到波音去做，那我们波音的那个员工嘛，一下子去了几百个，他们当然是做了很高兴的生意。那我就给他讲，我说愿不愿意到我们银发族来？他先一直问我们到底有多少人。不过我感觉非常满意的，今天有那么多这个人来帮助我们。我后面的背景我一直待会儿就放掉了。他这是 King 5 News 在今年讲过了这一些怎么样来准备。你们现在天天看到这个消息，加州突然被水淹了，烂泥。今天早上我看到它的烂泥里面还有一个白白的东西，就是液气冒出来。这些东西你怎么样做准备？我们在这边一下子没有办法全部都告诉你，所以你听了每一件事情，你要自己能够想到，我现在是火山爆发了呢，地震了呢，还是水要来了呢？所以你自己要处理。可是基本上准备这些东西都是需要很长的时间去做准备。就像我上次讲的一样，大多数的 哦，我没有关系，我到 Costco 去买一点就是了。可是你一想到了这个东西，你要把它组织起来的话，那就花了很多时间。刚才潘老师最后讲的这个灭火器啊，还有 smoke detector 啊，这些东西都是准备你一般的状况。告诉你们，现在 Costco 有在减价，所以你们要去添购的话，你们就在那。
对不起啊，刚才我有一个比较重要的忘记，因为它上面没有写啊，就是说你睡觉的时候，你的手机一定要放在你附近，因为有什么事情就马上就找到。另外呢，你要有一个很好的鞋子，也是放在那个床的旁边，不要放高跟鞋子啊，因为你出去的话，可能那些一大堆什么钉子啊、玻璃啊什么，就是外面有很多，所以你那个鞋子都要非常好。然后说不定有下雪啊什么东西，所以要有一双很好的鞋子，准备在这种情况的时候用啊。那个鞋子也是要放在床的旁边，一起来马上就穿上就走了这样。刚才他没有写这，我就忘掉，所以对不起。
Okay,
My favorite.
stage you're yours. Okay. You can start talking and where you want to start it. We're here with all the
Steve O'Donnell, Jeff Getty. We are with American Preparedness. We are a service-disabled, veteran-owned business, if you want to explain something. And 37 years ago, I started this company based on kits we had in the military. I brought them to the Red Cross in 1989. They'd never seen an emergency kit. And of course, as you know, with the disasters we have across this country, more and more people are getting pre-disaster prepared. They used to wait, disaster would come, then they'd call on the government. Well, the government doesn't come. Katrina, all the disasters, the government comes later. You've got to take care of yourself. And that's what we do. The government spends billions on infrastructure, but they don't spend a dime on you. You've got to spend your own money. There's no, you're on that freeway, and we have an earthquake or a major disaster, there won't be a government guy there saying, oh, here's your water, here's your emergency kit. You have got to do that planning. And that's why, as adults, we all have the responsibility for ourselves and our families. Lots of people don't take advantage of that, and we have a great deal of suffering because of that. Last year, we had 3 major hurricanes. Didn't hurt us, that was them. But someday it will be us, and they'll be looking at us from down there. And last year, we had Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 before they recover. Half the people in Puerto Rico still don't have power, and water is scarce. So what we try to do is, we try to get our people here in America, try to get Americans prepared. So if you're out on that freeway, and there's a major earthquake, and you're not going anywhere, you've got 3 days worth of supplies for you or your family. This is family, that's personal. That's 1 person, this is 4 person. You won't be able to go up to this gentleman's car, knock on his window and say, can I have your food and water? He is going to need it. And so you have an opportunity to make a decision. Do I prepare now, or do I flip a coin and maybe nothing happens? But if it does happen, what do you have? And we're here to give you an idea of some of the things you can do to aid your survival. The little water purifier over there, that gives you 100 gallons of water. You can go out in the ditch, shake it up, clean it off, and drink it. 100 gallons of water takes care of you for a long time. The kits here are 3 days, 4 people 3 days, 1 person 3 days. That kit over there is 2 people for 7 days, a week for 2 people.
The black one there?
The black one.
Oh, okay.
And it has a roller. You can go down the road with it. It also has a backpack if you're strong. You can carry it on your back, but it has it either way.
Peter, would you give everyone a price list and our brochure? Here you go.
Now, we brought a number of different emergency items. New technology is coming out all the time. Steve's going to demonstrate some of them. That stove he has in front of him right there, that stove can boil water, so you can have soup, tea, and while you're boiling the water, it will charge your cell phone.
So the way this works, it's lightweight and durable. Pinch the handle, put the pot up on top, take your lid off your sterno. You can use sterno indoors, and then you attach your
Cell
phone cord, and you can charge your phone while you're boiling your water.
So if your car battery is dead, you have no power, no car, you can use this to charge your phone.
So, just finished getting set up here in a minute. There's one of these bins, Jeff, has more 4-in-1 tools and radio. These are on the price sheet are special show prices for you. They're about 25 to 40% off of our retail. Let's see here, where's her book? Your Tubbers. Yeah, right here. Yeah. I usually like to start by talking about Sandy Doughton's book, Full Rip 9.0. She's the science editor for the Seattle Times. In this book, what we now know about geology is that we are, while we always have big wind and rain and snowstorms from time to time, and we have enough first responders to help us in case a tree falls on your car or something like that. But what we don't have enough first responders for is a major 9.5 earthquake, a mega quake, what is called a Cascadia subduction zone earthquake. All of the continents used to be together, and the earth is always in motion. All the continents separated. You know, North and South America used to be tucked in by Africa. Australia used to be in between India and Africa. The United Kingdom was close into Western Europe. So it was all together, and it's moved about that much every year. San Francisco is actually slipping down the San Andreas Fault about that much every year. So the old joke was everybody on the east side of the San Andreas would have waterfront property. Well, that's not going to be the case. The case is that San Francisco, many, many years from now, hundreds of thousands of years from now, will be next to LA. So what the geologists now know, over a 10,000 year time horizon, because of these core samples they did, 10,000 years of core samples, they know, for instance, that in this, if you could envision a core sample like this, and mud, sand, mud, sand, mud, sand, every 300 years. In this one, they found 7,700 years ago, the ash out in the ocean. We have a fault that runs 800 miles. This fault runs from Vancouver Island to Sacramento. It's about 50 to 80 miles off our coast. And we have about 20 Grand Canyons, underwater Grand Canyons, and volcanoes. How many people have ever been down to Crater Lake in Oregon? Anyone been to Crater Lake? Does anybody know that's 19,000 feet deep? It's one of the deepest lakes in the world, if not the deepest. But there was something that sat on top. Did anyone go on the tour? Does anyone know what sat on top of Crater Lake? Well, there was a 12,000-foot mountain, and it blew off. 12,000-foot Mount Mazama. Think of the energy to blow that off. The ash they found out in one of the Grand Canyons out in the ocean, down here by Brookings, Oregon. They found that ash from Mount Mazama. And here it is in the core sample. And all of these other 300-year intervals are tectonic plate earthquakes. The Cascadia subduction zone tectonic. All of our continents, Asia, North America, they're all tectonic, they're all plates and they're all moving. If you've ever jumped off a diving board into a swimming pool, when you jump on the diving board, it goes down. And when you jump into the water, what does the diving board have to do? Go up. When the tectonic plate subducts, it creates enormous pressure. And then it creates the thrust and the energy and the power. The reason that the entire Northwest was not devastated 7,700 years ago is that it was only a partial rip. Only part of the fault down by Brookings, Oregon ripped. The geologists now predict a full rip, the entire fault from Vancouver Island to Sacramento, 800 miles. What happened was Mount Mazama did not blow and cause the earthquake and tsunami. The fault ripped and caused Mount Mazama to light up, become an active volcano. Boom. Okay? In the event of a full rip, we're looking at Mount Baker, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, Mount St. Helens, all erupting. Okay? So, and I want to maybe preface this by saying, boy, it sounds like you're a real fear monger, but we don't sell fear. In fact, we sell peace of mind. Peace of mind. Having good gear, good provisions, good equipment will give you a peace of mind if we have a catastrophic event during our lifetime.
Steve, we don't sell this. We sell this because the day you have a problem, a disaster, you're going to smile. You're not going to be sad. So what we're trying to tell you is this is something that's not fear, it's smart, and it can produce a very happy response the day of a disaster.
So now what we know also is from these samples in the forest on the Washington coast, it's just a silver forest down there. Some of you may have gone down to the Washington coast and seen it. And it dropped about 60 feet, just dropped. We know we have a major tectonic plate earthquake about every 300 or so years. And the last one, does anyone know when the last one occurred? It was January the 26th, 1700. Now, I mean, I look pretty old, but I wasn't around then. None of us were around, right? The Coos Bay Indians down on the Oregon coast were here. And only those in a hunting party at higher ground survived. About 100,000 Coos Bay Indians perished because of the tsunami. So if we have a full rip, and the reason we know about this earthquake is that in Asia, weather has been kept for hundreds of years. Japan got hit by a monster tsunami, 100 feet high, traveled across the ocean in 24 hours. That's big power, right? Okay, that was the full rip. And they had no shaking. They recorded earthquakes in Japan, in Indonesia, every day. Last year we had 9,500 earthquakes on the planet. There were about 25 or 30 7.0, good-sized earthquakes. The Earth's rotation this year is going to slow by a millisecond. Millisecond is faster than that. In a millisecond, the Earth will slow a little bit. In 100 years, they found that when the Earth has slowed in rotation, in the intervals, it adds about 10 to 20 more severe earthquakes. So this year we may be due worldwide, globally, for a very substantial number, 2-3 dozen severe earthquakes. So what does this all mean? May never happen in our lifetime. It's kind of a matter of when, not if. May not happen in our lifetime. But what we like to say is get ready, be ready, stay ready. Be prepared. You'll have that smile on your face. You'll have a feeling of comfort. You'll have a feeling of peace of mind. And so with that, I kind of wanted to set the stage because this is now a reality. It's what the scientists and the geologists, and it's what's happened through the history of our planet. So I wanted to now kind of go in and talk about, and there'll be plenty of time for questions, and we can pass some of the products around. You can touch and feel them. We appreciate being here, and thank you. Many of you were customers of ours a year ago, December, and but we have added a few new things.
And I'd like to just say this. There's an 80, I don't know if everybody understands this, but there's an 84% chance of a 9.0 earthquake within the next 50 years. And you know that works? It could be tomorrow, it could be 50 years. It isn't going to be 50 years, but it will certainly be within 50 years. And that's part of this Cascadia preparation. We also give free kits away to school children. There's no program for our kids. Your child or grandchild's going to a school, they've got nothing at the school. If they have to leave the school, they don't have anything like this unless they got it from us, free. We provide the kits to schools as we earn money, and we also accept donations. We have Federal Way School. We just did the Saguamish Indian Tribal School. We did St. Joseph's in Seattle. 650 students got a kit. We're working with Federal Way. We're working with Onalaska and Highline School District, 20,000 students. We're trying to get the kids prepared. If you read the Seattle Times last year, they had an article that said 7,000 to 9,000 of our children will perish if we have an earthquake like they're talking about. And that's because the buildings will collapse. We have 1,600 buildings in Seattle that are made of brick. They're going to go down. That's why your kid won't be able to come home and you won't be able to go to your school. That's why we're really working with Channel 5 and others to get the awareness out to the schools.
If you,
by the way, these make great graduation gifts. Nobody ever sends them back. Our rate of return on companies like Costco, Amazon, Staples, almost nothing. Because when people get a kit, they want it. They may not buy it, but they'll be happy if you buy them one. So if you've got a graduating student, your parents, your kids, grandkids, this is a great gift to give them.
recommend that you keep this one-person kit, or if you're typically two people in a car or family, a 1, 2, or 4-person kit in your car. Keep this one-person kit right behind your driver's seat, unless you have a hatchback. But that's a good one to have access to in case you had a situation on the highway. We're going to be at home, on the road, or at school or work at any given time during the day. And so in those three scenarios, we're going to either shelter in place or evacuate in any one of those three scenarios. So you want to be prepared at home. You have your pantry, you have more food there. In your vehicle, because you could be every 10 miles in a catastrophic earthquake. If you look at Chile, Banda Aceh, Indonesia, Fukushima, Iran, Nepal, Haiti, if you look at Mexico City, if you look at those, Anchorage, Alaska, if you look at those 9.0 earthquakes, the roads are like this. You can't even walk over a road. So you want to be able to sustain yourself in your vehicle until some rescue could come or the infrastructure gets reset. Remember that every 10 miles you're away from home. If you decide to go out to Maltby, to Plant World out at Woodinville, and you live right here in Crossroads, and we have a big earthquake, you're looking at a 1 to 2 day walk to get home. So you want to have a kit. The sling bag is a nice bag to sling over your body. So these backpacks kind of speak for themselves. We have everything in there for your survival, for you and your family. 3 new products I want to talk about for a minute, and we do have these accessories as well. This one is a non-spark tool that turns your gas off and your water. Hang it out right by your gas meter. You won't blow yourself up. And it's also a pry bar and a digger. A solar dual battery crank radio that will charge your cell device. So things like that. The water purifier that Jeff mentioned. But this stove is really pretty neat. It is durable and lightweight. It folds down real quickly. You put it together very quickly. It's very safe. You can use a candle or sterno. As you know, you're allowed to have sterno or candle in your home. And you can charge your cell device at the same time. And then you're boiling water for your meal. Either your tea, your coffee, your cocoa, your noodles, your soup.
Or your meal.
Or you can pour the purified water's now boiled. It boils in 3 to 5 minutes. You can pour the water into and have a hot meal. Okay?
Biscuits and gravy, good for 20 years.
So this is
Better than the Army.
invented by a kid out of Stanford. It's really a neat deal. Normally $99 to $119. These are $79 for our show price today. The second item to purify water, we mentioned boiling water, filtering water. This will filter 99.99% of all Cryptosporidium, Giardia, E. coli, Staphylococcus used by the Army. So that's a great water filter. It's lightweight, crushable. You can attach it to your belt. This for your community, for your neighborhood or your condominium association. The United States Military Department of Defense spent about $8 to $10 million developing this little lunchbox. Lightweight. What does it do, you might ask? This is a chlorine maker. This will make enough chlorine in 5 minutes to purify a 50-gallon drum of water. So it's simply 10th grade chemistry. Sodium chloride, and H2O, water, added power to it. This is a little cooker, and you can attach it to a 12-volt battery or plug it into the wall if you have power. Will make enough chlorine you pour into a 50-gallon barrel of water, and you've purified your water in 5 minutes. This was meant for our special forces if they have to go on a counterterrorism to Yemen or someplace, Afghanistan, Iraq. They need to have water. You don't even need an instruction manual. It's right there. It's all visual. So this is great for your condominium association, your apartment building, maybe a cluster of 10, 20 homes in your neighborhood. These are $239, and with the AC power package, it's $279.
The Department of Defense spent $9 million to make these for our troops. As a former sergeant in the Army and a squad leader, I had 14 men. One of my men would carry this, and we'd make water for the whole squad. But you could actually make water for a small village.
We need a lot of light. This is called the Larry light. It's a wearable. This turns, and this is a wearable light. You just put it on, turn it on, and it is very bright. 250 lumens, has a low flash. This is a really cool little light. They're $10.
How long will it last?
6 on 2 AAA batteries, 6 hours. Okay? So this is called Protect 8, an 8-hour protection hand sanitizer, and it comes in larger quantities. I'm going to pass this around. Everyone can take a squirt if you'd like. There's no alcohol, no fragrance. Let's maybe pass 2 of them around, one in each section. No fragrance, no grease, no oil, no taclocin, the chemical that you don't want to use. This they dries very quickly, and it gives your hands a nice feeling as opposed to all of those other products that have alcohol in them. So this is the new technology for a hand sanitizer, and that's one of the important things in a major disaster is sanitation.
Steve, can I say something?
Yes, absolutely.
This is a new technology out of England. Why it's so important is we sell to the Washington State nurses, 20,000 members. We're their sole source provider for their first aid emergency. The nurses have been using alcohol-based Purell and other things, soap and alcohol to sanitize. They found out that the nurses had the same high level of cirrhosis of the liver as alcoholics. They couldn't figure out why until they start realizing every time you do this with alcohol, it goes into your skin, into your blood, through your liver. So this doesn't have that, and it puts a barrier on. So if you touch something, you've got germ protection for 6 to 8 hours. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to explain that.
It's good for flu season too.
Absolutely.
The guy that has the United States rights to this, he's a friend of mine, he puts it on his nose like this when he gets on an airplane, just so he doesn't get the recirculating stuff. Puts it right here. You can taste it, there's nothing poison in this. Peter was kind enough to buy everybody in here today a flashlight, so if you're stuck in the dark, you're gonna always have light. One of the key injuries after a disaster, and I was a Red Cross volunteer, is it's dark, pitch dark. And the #1 cause of accidents after the disaster is people can't see and they fall down. I've fallen 4 times in 5 years because I'm a clumsy senior. 3 times I went to the hospital. So you want to have lights. And Peter, would you be kind enough to make sure everybody gets one of these?
A twin pack, or break them open in a
Break it
single?
open, everybody gets one.
You break it open, Peter, and each person gets one. Open up the twin packs, yeah.
你们自己分，要把它打开了，不可以一个人拿2个啊。是的，这是送给你们。
The next new item we have.
请你们把它打开来分给。
One of the things about reducing chaos in a big disaster, and that's not only civil unrest, but being able to have some gear available immediately, and this is what we call, this is a new product for us, we call it the under the bed kit. You simply keep this kit under the bed with your boots. So why would you have your boots under your bed? Let me show you something with those. They should all come on, but if they don't, they might have a plastic spacer. There may be a little plastic spacer right here in the back that saves the battery. It's a battery saver. I'm going to open these up and pass them around. The under the bed kit. Here's what you want to have under your bed, because a lot of bad things happen at 2 in the morning, right? If we have a 9.0 earthquake at 2 in the morning, you want your boots under your bed to protect your feet from being cut. Be a lot of glass and debris. You want to have, let's open this up and pass it around. What are the things you want to protect? Your head, hard hat, your eyes, safety goggles. A lot of affluent in the air. N95 dust mask. It might very likely be cold. A thermal blanket. Probably will be raining. Poncho. This is a crank radio. No battery required with a flashlight. Crank radio. You need to be able to know what's going on. The other thing you want to protect are your hands so you don't get cut. Gloves, leather palm gloves. We also, in the deluxe version, put the gas tool. So this is basic. Without this is $39.95. With it is $49.95. The other thing is that you may very well need a good pry bar. This is a 15-inch pry bar. You can remove a nail, and you can get yourself out of a predicament with a pry bar. Okay. It also makes a pretty good tool if you have to bonk your husband on the head. Get his attention. Okay. So I'll pass this around, Peter. People can look at it. It's the under the bed kit. If there's 2 of you in the bed, you might want to have 2 kits, one on each side of the bed. Oh, the radio. Peter, the radio goes goes with it. If you or any of your friends or relatives live in Seattle, Tacoma, or Portland in a brick or masonry building, I would highly recommend, if it has not been seismically retrofit, I would not pay rent to live in that building. I would not live in the building even if the landlord paid me. What will happen is the walls will separate and the floor is just pancaked down, and everyone at 2 in the morning in those buildings will be killed. So that's where Seattle will suffer a loss. Sandy says in her book, about 30,000 people in Seattle would die because of those brick masonry, old buildings in Tacoma and Portland. So if anybody you know is in one, demand that it be seismically retrofit. The way they do it is they run cables underneath the floor across the building to hold these walls together so they don't go like that. And that's the only way. You can tell a building's been retrofitted, a brick building. There'll be a decorative rosette at the floor level of each floor about every 8 or 10 feet. There'll be a cap over the bolt. You'll see something decorative, a flower, something like that. You can tell that building has been retrofit. But very, very dangerous situation. And then Jeff mentioned losing our school children. We're on a real mission to get all of our K through 12 students here in the Puget Sound area. There's 1 million kids in Washington in school. We want to get them to have a kit, and it's very expensive to outfit 1,000 students in a school. It's about $40,000, and if you or anyone that you are connected with, we heavily discount this kit so that it can be given away to the school so that every child would have a kit. They have nothing in school. They have no food or water. Most schools do not have generators, and so and they'll be terrified because mommy and daddy are downtown in the glass tower at 10 a.m. You're looking at 10 feet of glass in the streets in Seattle. So no one will walk or ride a bike or drive a car, no buses, no trains. The governor has to call out the National Guard. Front-end loaders come in and load the glass out. The kids are out in the suburbs in a school, in the dark, in the cold, January 25th, it's 25 degrees, and they don't know if mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, they don't know if they're alive or not. So that's why we're very passionate about these kids being able to sustain themselves at the school for a minimum of 3 days until the infrastructure can get reset.
This preparing yourself and your students can be part of your Kin on Healthy Living program, because this is healthy living. So if you had a school that you want to get prepared, there's all kinds of people who will give you money. All the Native American casinos put money out every 3 months. So if you had a school here that was connected to your center, you could get donations. Prepare every student. Companies, casinos, so there is that available.
So with that,
Peter wanted to say something.
yeah, Peter, go ahead. Yeah.
Can you demonstrate one more time with the light, the lady in the back, Samantha?
Oh, okay, so just turning it on is the little black
I
button.
know that. My question is, what's the power of the light?
3 little batteries, AAA
Oh,
batteries.
3 little AAAs.
No. How bright the brightness of the?
That's LED, it's a couple hundred lumens.
Is this a couple hundred?
Yeah,
Because
it
I was biking in the tunnel. It's really not useful if it's really less than 600 lumen.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so you need really strong one for.
We have
when it's
stronger
really-
ones,
well, what
Oh,
we
you
do,
do?
headlamps.
Okay.
this is, put this on your, yeah, this one is 170 lumens.
Oh, that's 170. Okay.
Yeah, so now where's the whistle combos? We got the whistle combos somewhere.
We have a solution for you.
Yeah, I like that one better. I like.
Okay, all right, this is the last, then we'll take questions. This goes on your wiper column in your car. You have the flashlight. You have a very loud whistle. Is everybody ready? 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 You can whistle a lot longer than you can yell. That's 120 decibels. That's louder than a lawnmower, okay? This is called a rescue me. This little tool will save your life. You pop that off, you can cut the seatbelt. This, it's got the little safety guard for children. This will shatter your window glass. You just put it against the glass. I don't want to put it against the big TV. So, this $16.95 will save your life. And you want it right on the wiper column, because if you have it in the glove box and your seatbelt seizes up, you may not be able to have a long enough arm to reach your glove box. So this, with a kid in your car, we'd recommend we have blankets, bottles of water, good walking shoes. Most of you this morning have good walking shoes on. But a lot of times in a workplace environment, people have on some very nice dress shoes, and you should have an extra pair of shoes in your vehicle.
Another reason that's really good, if you put it on the steering column, if you're trapped in your car, you blow the whistle, you can bring people to the car. If you have light, they can see you. People get trapped in many situations and they can't be found, but with these, it'll help. This is also very good. If you don't own a gun, this is great protection, because if somebody's giving you a bad time, you have this, you attract a lot of attention, and that's what you want. Bad guys don't want any attention. I carry one in my pocket all the time.
Samantha?
Yeah, I forgot how much is it?
$16.95.
$16.95.
Yeah.
Okay.
Retail's
Including
$19.95.
tax. Including tax.
Everything is plus tax.
Plus
We
tax.
put it on your credit card. We brought somewhere around here, I got a credit card swiper. We do take cash, check, or credit card. Yeah, Jeff's example on the Whistle for Life combo. There was a gal about 10, 15 years ago, if you've been around here a long time, out in Redmond on Union Hill Road, up above the UPS facility. She was about 16, a new driver, and she went in the ravine. The really weird thing on that Union Hill Road goes down like this. The really weird deal is that there were like no tire tracks. They found her on the 8th day, right before she died. She survived. But she had no blanket, no water, nothing.
No whistle.
She had no whistle, couldn't cut herself out of her seatbelt, and no light. The very first night, if she'd had her light, people walking on the street searching for her would have seen the light, or they would have heard her whistling. So this saves your life for under $20. This saves your life for under $50. I think these are $40, $44. So I think what we'd like to do right now for a few minutes is take more questions, and then you're happy to, you can come up, you can look at product, and you have an order sheet if you want to work on an order sheet, and we can take cash, check, or credit card. But let's entertain any questions that you might have. Yes.
So question on the radio, has that been tested, how long that can be last if it's been stored for a while?
Well,
It's still
okay,
good?
so to charge it, you can solar,
Uh-huh,
you can crank,
right.
comes with the
But I assume my
battery,
bag is
and then
under,
3 AAAs.
I assume my bag is under, in my chair, in my car, or under the bed, right? So it's been sitting there for a while, it takes the humidity, everything.
gotta crank.
But
I cranked it for about 5 minutes, and it lasted an entire quarter of a football
if
game.
it's made of iron, it might be rusted, after a while. So just wonder what kind of things that's
Well, most
made of.
of this now is plastic and the circuit board inside.
So it is
And this will
plastic.
charge it's got a couple of adapters. You might have to buy a different adapter,
Uh-huh.
but this will charge your cell phone. And I mean, has an LED flashlight. This is an AM, FM weather band radio. It's a great little radio for $25.
So you got options here. You got the solar, okay, if it's sunny. It's not, no sun out, you can crank it. You can't, if you want, you can have batteries. Or you
The
can
whole
plug
question
it.
is the humidity affected. So
Mostly
we need a
plastic.
waterproof.
It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant as much as
Seawater,
anything.
seawater, unwaterproof.
Probably, Samantha,
No,
probably in your
I just want to
in
know
your
how
kit,
long this
yeah,
can last.
in your kit or in a bag in your car,
Uh-huh.
probably not a lot of humidity. If you left it outside in Florida or Hawaii, where they have a lot of humidity, it might degrade it, but
We've been selling these 15 years. I've never had one come back because of rust. I've had them come back because somebody drove over them, with their car. Or
I
something.
get the word rust.
So
assume
nobody-
probably the battery kept in there,
Oh, yes.
so kind of a
We've got to
chemical
check it.
leak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the word that
Yes.
she's trying to.
It's got a little compartment there, so if a battery, I would recommend you check your batteries once a year. You know, some people, they pick Valentine's Day or their, to do their smoke detector and their CO2.
Okay,
Just have that one day of the year, on Valentine's Day, I'm gonna check all my batteries.
okay.
Sometimes contacts are corrosion something.
Battery in your, yeah, you can take a little brush and wipe the corrosion off, but check your kit, batteries in your kit, smoke detector, CO2, batteries and radios, just go around your whole house.
Right, so that's the point I was going to, I wanted to make sure everybody knows. Anything in there doesn't mean that can last forever, right? You have
Right.
to do your diligence.
Now, our water is US Coast Guard, Datrex, US made, and as is the food. Now, the reality in these foil packs will probably last 20 years, but we can only say 5 years. 5 years. You get 3 or 4 of these pouches per day, you will survive, and you get 4 of these bars. In this brick are 12 bars of 200 calories each. Peter, you pass these around.
有没有人试试看吃啊？
This is a sample, take the plastic off.
我来试试看。
Okay,
我来试试看。
吃不了那么大了，你掰一个分给人家
there's
啊！
no,
不要
there's
不要
no
一个人
nuts,
的那个
there's no peanut.
You can eat it. Go ahead.
It's wheat, okay, here's what it is. It's wheat flour, sugar cane,
那个燕麦
vegetable oil,
吃
water,
的吃嘛。
salt, and it has a little bit of coconut flavor. If you smell it, it should smell just a little bit like coconut.
So we had to buy extra, not including.
Well, it comes in the kits. But now FEMA is saying, you really should, our Mormon friends say, be prepared to take care of you and your family for 1 to 2 years. Sandy is saying there'll be no water in Seattle for 18 months. No sewer for maybe 5 to 10 years.
给他尝一尝啊。
But FEMA is saying now 14 days to 30 days. So we have in bulk, in cases, you can buy additional cases of the food bars, additional cases of the water. Peter, you want to pass up a water pouch? All they do is tear the corner. Just tear the corner and
有
drink
人
it.
喝水吗？查一
H2O.
查，
H2O.
要喝水啊。OK。来，待会儿你站起来给我们讲一讲
What
啊。
other questions?
就旁边撕开一点的。
What other questions do you have?
你打开了尝尝啊，大家尝。
How many people, what do we have? We have 30 people, 25 people here. Raise your hand if you feel you are prepared to take care of you and your family for at least 3 days. You can, Peter, ask everybody, is there anyone in the room who feels that they are prepared to take care of themselves and their family for a minimum of 3 days?
再问一问哈，你们说听完了那么多了，你有没有办法准备你自己3天在这个紧急状况下的东西？Samantha，你有没有这个
One? Only one person? Only one?
？I think I can kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now that also means that no one is prepared for 7 or 14 or 30 days, or a year or two. Sir, how many days or weeks or months do you feel that you could survive on your own? At least 3 days.
That's good.
Great.
What Steve is alluding to on this food and water, you can buy a case of the water, put it in your trunk for 5 years, forget it. It's good for 5 years minimum. It's the same thing they use in the Air Force and in the
4 of
military.
those per day. 4 per day.
Government
I get free,
yearly, I think they get
yeah. We have a training and we
Yeah.
get free.
So how about that water?
They used to
Is that
probably,
bleach
maybe
or
you can
what?
get them to us, I don't know.
What is that?
You would.
Is it bleach?
That's US Coast Guard approved food and water.
So we would recommend that you have some sort of a backpack at home and some sort of a backpacker kit in your vehicles. And then, of course, for your family members, your children, grandchildren. Also very important for your children and grandchildren that are in the workplace, that they have something at their workplace. If they're working at one of these high-rises in Bellevue or Seattle, they may have to shelter in place in one of those buildings for a considerable period of time. The governor will call a state of emergency and call out the National Guard. But 75% of our buildings, bridges, and roads from the Canadian border to Sacramento will be catastrophically damaged. So, did anybody see the 1995, the pictures of Kobe, Japan? Level. Okay, level and burned down because water wouldn't work. The infrastructure pipes, they have been spending 22 years and $5 or $10 billion rebuilding everything underground. And they've been making the joints of all the pipes articulate like our buses articulate. We haven't done that here. They have 20 more years in Kobe, Japan to finish all the infrastructure underground. So just think about that. West of I-5, we're a little better off east of I-5. West of I-5 is very, very, very devastating. The Washington and Oregon coast, in this scenario, the coast is going to move 40 to 60 feet west and drop 20 to 30, 40 feet. Seattle, about 4 to 6 feet. There will be about 4 to 6 feet of water down by the stadiums. Okay?
Everybody have waterfront property.
Samantha?
Yeah, Steve, on the list, what is the seashell, the list above the, oh.
That's the purifier, the water.
Oh, that's called seashell, okay.
Yeah. No, these at REI are about 35 to 39. So your price here today is 25.
If I were recommending 4 items to leave and have in your back seat on the floor, a radio, hand crank solar, a water purifier, 100 gallons of water, 3-day kit, and a tarp for protection. Everyone should have at least those 4 items for yourself. And of course, if you're married, then it's twice that, but those would be the 4 items.
Samantha's got the filter right now, and on the instruction sheet inside the plastic, it tells you between 10 seconds and 10 minutes for each item, like Cryptosporidium or Giardia, E. coli. Some things purify in 10 seconds, but the longest period of time is 10 minutes. I would recommend, just no matter what, if you filled up a mud puddle of water, I'd wait 10 minutes. Okay. Now, Jeff's got a tarp here. Our big kits, not only do our big kits have big first aid kits, they have tarps and rope and duct tape. So you could make your own water collection system. We have a lot of rain here, right? So you could tie up the tarp and with some rope and a container, and you could make your own water collection system. And then, you know, you might want to run it through the filter. You can boil it. But rainwater is pretty clean. So more questions?
Yeah, how much is this?
Per pack, I think it's $3.95. Something should be under. Oh, they're about $4 a brick.
Peter, we have a few door prizes that we'd like to work on. Okay.
Why don't we wait till the end?
I think we're about done with our
They may have
information.
a question, let's entertain the question, save till the final 10 minutes.
Okay, I think we're ready for questions.
The food bars are $3.95 a bar. They come 32 a box, 30 of those bricks. They're $3.95 or yeah, it's about 120 per case. $4 per.
So this is,
Yeah, That's $4. That's $4. That takes care of one person for 3 days. The water pouches are 39 cents
你
each,
们吃的这个味道怎
and
么样
there's 64 robots.
？3块9毛5啊！
蛮好的。
包了，包上面。
呀，不是整个嘛，不是一小块，是给你甜头让你。
But it's $3.95.
烧进去放在里面都有。
Oh, just read it. Go ahead.
对对对
And gas. Water or gas, both water. Just depends on how
他
much you
讲
get.
的就是说，证实是可以那么多，他最多告诉讲出来。Okay, question about the purifier.
Yes.
Do you need to add anything?
No.
Just water.
Just water. It will do 100 gallons. You can fill that up about 400 times. And then the filter is replaceable for $14.95. You can get a new filter. Let me open it up and show you. So this opens up. Everybody, this lady has a very good question about the water
哎，请
filter.
大家停到前面啊。
So it's nice and lightweight and soft. You can fill this up about 400 times before you have to change the filter. And you just take that tab off. These are $14.95, the replacements. So that's all you do, just fill it up with water, mud puddle or any water. This will filter camel water in Afghanistan.
Then you put in your,
And then you can pour it into a larger container, or you can just drink right through the straw.
okay, so you can just put the dirty water in there and put this
You
thing
just
in, then you come out, what do you have?
Wipe the outside, wipe the outside,
What's that?
wipe the outside dirt.
Oh, wipe the outside.
You
No,
know-
I cannot drink from,
No, no, if you put it in ditch water, you don't want the dirty water coming in with the clean water.
yeah, sure.
你们还有没有什么问题啊？要问的赶快。
这个中间是不是 filter？
一个一个的。
Here's everything that it does. It purifies Escherichia coli, Salmonella, 3 different types of Salmonella. Couple that I can't pronounce, three more. Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, 2 types of that. Polio, and the 2 ones that really make you sick, Cryptosporidium and Giardia.
And so the plastic is okay,
Yeah,
outside plastic.
yeah.
马长，你刚才问什么？
Margaret already asked.
哦，OK。那你刚才问什么？还有人有问这个水平的问题吗？
So we need to get a filter from you, right? If I want to
Filter 在里面。
对了，用完了以后你还
Yeah,
是要
$14.95 replacement. Yeah，所以你要注意听。那个要可以多讲。Margaret 刚才他说可以用几次？400次。所以你假如说家里面有400个人的话，那你就要买一个。
Hey Jeff, I think we have a whole bin. 20 or 30 of the Whistle for Life combos. They were in a bin in the back
27块半。
of the van because I saw them.
我在强力推销这个，白老师已经要买了，待会儿没有的话，你们就
I forgot to mention, these are MREs, meals ready to eat. They do not require a flame source. So if you have no natural gas and no electricity, you can cook a meal right on the table. They're about 1,000 to 1,100 calories. They come 12 to a case. There are 6 flavors. There's chicken, there's pork, there's rice and beans, there's vegetarian, vegetable, spaghetti. And what's inside is 2 Fig Newton bars, 2 unsalted soda bars, a package of raisins, and then your main entree. And the way this works, I'll open one. This one is pasta with garden vegetables and tomato sauce.
Oh, yum, yum.
Okay. So, the way this works, now there's also when Marshawn Lynch was with the Seahawks, we put in a package of Skittles. So there's a package of candy. This is a package of osmotic raisins. Two people can actually, pass that around so they can, 2 people can actually share this. There are 2 Big Newton bars in here. These will last for 20 years. They're all in foil packs. 2 unsalted soda crackers. And now here's how you do your meal. And all the information about your meal is here. This is the cook sleeve for the entree. Here's your entree, okay? And included is a spork, salt and pepper, a towelette, and you're gonna eat the entree right out of here. You just tear it right here once it's cooked. It's gonna cook right here in 10 to 12 minutes. This is the chemical pack, and 1.5 ounces of salt water. You're going to tear this open. You're going to tear open your water and pour it into this chemical pack. I don't know if the light, if you can see the chemical strips, okay? When the water's in there, you're going to put this around your meal, and you're going to put it in the cook sleeve. And that's going to sit there for 10 minutes to cook. It's going to get very, very hot. You can touch it, it won't burn you, but it's really hot. And in 12 minutes, it will cook that meal right here. So you don't need a flame. You don't need gas or electricity. But if you get a little bit tired of, these, you can go to those. And Jeff had a Mountain House meal, where you, a nice hot meal where you pour your cup of hot water into the meal. So once you run out of that tuna fish, 8 cans from Costco in your pantry, it just depends on what hour, we talked about 72 hours, 3 days. What part of the, where are we in that time continuum? What are you gonna eat? If you're at home, you might have a lot of rice and beans.
He wants to know how much this will cost.
Retail is $9.95. I think our price is $7.95. It's about 12 of them is a little under $100 for 12 of them.
Peter? I think everybody maybe have the wrong impression. No, I want to say this. I think everybody have the wrong impression that we only are concerned about earthquakes. That's not true. If you've been on the freeway here in Seattle, you might at some time maybe been out there 2-3 hours because of a truck overturn, or maybe longer. We could have all kinds of things that could keep you from getting home for a day or two. Major windstorm, major accidents, a chemical spill. So this isn't just for an earthquake. This is just common sense to have in your vehicle. In Minnesota, where I come from, we grew up, we didn't call it emergency kits, but we had emergency products in our trunk, shovels, boots, a heavy jacket. You just do that because you know it's the right thing to do. Because your car goes out in 40 below weather, you don't have a jacket, you're going to freeze. You don't have to go to school to learn that. But there's all kinds of things that could keep you from getting home. Your car breaks down in a remote area, trees blow over the road, a chemical spill without letting you go. This is what you have to take care of yourself in that gap.
A good example of that was summer before last, and we had that really hot spell, 95, 100-degree days for a few days. My wife was coming home from South Center, and her car overheated. And she was by herself, and she was kind of pretty nervous on 405 there, just past where I-5 merges in. She was able to pull over in a safe place, called AAA. They said it would be an hour to an hour and a half. So she called me. Jeff and I were at a meeting somewhere, and I said, well, you've got your kit. Get the water. get the water out of the kit. Once, let it cool down, get a rag, open the radiator once it's cooled down, put your water in, and she was able to make it to whatever it is, 7-10 miles up from South Center up to Somerset and get home.
Now, if you have lots of money, you don't want to carry a kid, for $10,000, we'll send a helicopter out to you, all food and water for a week, we even make your pizza. Are there any other questions?
So far, man, I just realized that no matter how rich you are, if you're not prepared, it's still going to be the same situation with anybody else.
I went down to California when they had their earthquake. I was a Red Cross volunteer for 20 years. You know, we brought these to the Red Cross. They never knew what these were. I introduced them in '89 to the Red Cross. We went down to California, 50, 60 miles when they had the earthquake. Cars can't go anywhere. People driving a $100,000 Mercedes didn't have the smarts to have a kit. You can't go out and knock on somebody's window in the car and say, "Can I have your water and food?" Get out of here. You know?
I think one of the alarming things to Jeff and I the other day, that was a week or 10 days ago, we were invited down to Camp Murray, JBLM, and Camp Murray is the 8,000 National Guard, and we were told by the head director that our National Guardsmen and women do not have an emergency kit. And we probably all think, when I mentioned earlier, there's enough first responders to take care of those individual wind, rain, snowstorm, car accident, something that's isolated. But in the big event, we don't have enough first responders. And that's the point, is the cavalry. If the National Guard is our cavalry.
They don't even have a kit themselves.
Our cavalry is not coming. It's sad. But they're, in fact,
we're trying to work a fundraiser to get them kits.
In fact, the city of Bellevue, have you been to some of the presentations? There's about 12 zones in Bellevue. The fire trucks will cover for the first 4 to 8 hours. All of the first responders are going to go out and do what? Assess damage. You're going like this, my house, my garage is on fire, stop, stop. No, it's up to these 6 people who are neighbors to put her garage fire out. So that's why you want to have block captains, you want to get together with your neighborhood, and you want to get prepared on a neighborhood basis, because you need a safe house for children. You need a first aid house. You need to have 4 or 5 guys that can go and help someone. They have those signs. You can hang a sign out on your window or door that says okay or need help. And so these 4 or 5 gentlemen could go down the street or the cul-de-sac and make sure the grandma bookcase didn't fall on grandma's head. Okay? So that's where, there's a guy in Seattle who's written another book, and I don't know what happened to my, I think maybe it's good or better than this book. I think his name is Jim Dyers, and he's written a book about neighbors, relationships, that even though this is all really important, what will probably save your life is our relationship with our neighbors. In a big event, the neighbors are, it's the most important thing.
Now this may be a little redundant for some of you. I did this for 20 years with the Red Cross in Seattle. They don't do it anymore. National has everything go via the internet. All the stuff comes out of Washington, D.C. Peter is really kind to have us come in because nobody else does it that I know of. And it gives you a chance to get yourself prepared. I don't know of anybody else that would come out and offer this where you could get some information and take care of your family. So I think it's wise leadership that cares about you. And I've seen your, what is it, Kin On Healthy Living program?
Yes, we're part of the Kin On.
Same thing here, Healthy Living. Thank you, Peter, appreciate
it. Extras that are not in, or we can rob from.
Well, a 4-person backpack. We can take them out of the backpack. Did you bring any? Or
I think it might be one of the heads. Credit card, yeah. Take your card.
If you run short, you can, set it.
Oh, yeah.
Another day you can bring it over.
If, like we did a year ago, one gentleman was here, he bought, I think, 8 of these for his family. I delivered them to his medical practice over in Greenwood. So if there's something that we run short of, I can either, because I live right in Somerset, I can deliver to you right here in Bellevue. I'm around here all the time, or I can get it to Peter. So if you're out by SeaTac, you can come by our warehouse. So if we're short of something today that you want, we'll make sure you get it.
Okay, I have one question. About the backpack inside, are they the same as the underwear bag? Are they the same? Inside, I mean.
Good question. Most of the things in the under the bed kit are in the backpack. However, there's no hard hat or safety goggles.
So
I think everything else is in there.
This has got more products.
Just one person, right?
This under bed kit is 1 person, 1 person, 2 person, 3 day, all 3 day. That's a 4 person, 3 day, 3. This is a 2 person for 7 days. And then this gentleman's buying some additional food. We can, like Jeff said, we have cases of food and water. If you would like to make this a 7-day or a 14-day kit, we can do that. I think Jeff has some door prizes that we can, what you can do is come up, feel free to handle anything you'd like, and I can take your orders. Oh, add one of these, okay. Well, you go ahead and take that one. Yeah.